Hello, Kelly here with Kelly's Roca Life, and today I wanted to come to you to give you just a quick video on the deck that I have been working with, that I worked with all of September. And this is the Boadicea Tarot of Earthly Delights. And I saw this deck several times advertised on social media, on Amazon. And at first I thought, ooh, I'm going to buy that because, Boudica is somebody that I had heard about and that I knew that was somebody in history that I respected. And I didn't really know a lot about her, but I knew that it was somebody that I could connect to. So I saw it, and then I started looking at the cards, and the cards are very much collage style cards. And you can see here, this is the 10 of fungi, or the 10 of fungi. And this is the pentacles, 10 of pentacles. And so fungi, and it has all different, suits. But I looked at it and I thought at first it was going to be something maybe more Celtic or more like historical, or because Boudica was a very, very early queen of a tribe in what is now England, and she and her family and tribe fought against a lot of the Roman invasions that went on at that time. So I knew that, she was, got this, great warrior queen, and she was very respected for the things that she did in her lifetime. And so that's what I thought the deck was going to lean more towards. But then the rest of the title is Of Earthly Delights. And so that is a call to Hieronymus Bosch and his painting, the I forget the painting, what it's called, but is The Garden of Earthly Delights. And so I had taken art history in school and studied Hieronymus Bosch, and actually have the Hieronymus Bosch tarot that I should have pulled out at the same time as this, but I really wanted this one to work with this one on its own and to see, what it was like on its own. And so it's kind of this, it's a definitely a very cheeky deck, and it's got lots of references to pop culture and to movies and to songs, and probably a lot of the music things just went over my head. But I did find, like, there's one card that is it says something, and it says, "And your little dog too." And it was a reference to the movie The Wizard of Oz. So I got that one and I understood that one. But it's very sassy, and I liked it, and very sassy in a very smart way. And I think that that's what was kind of appeal to me. It was very grounded, and it was very magical, but at the same time, it had lots of good advice in it, and it had lots of good, this is a really good card, and then the messages in it were just really well written. And the authors are Caroline Kenner and Paula Millett. And so Paula Millett, as when I first started to read it, I thought that, I wasn't quite sure who did what, but apparently Paula Millett is the one who created the deck and created the art for the deck and the idea for the deck. And then Caroline Kenner was the one who wrote, I guess along, them together, wrote the material for the cards. And it's very well written, and it's very fun to read, and I really enjoyed it. And the art style, again, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't really know about that art style, because it is kind of busy, but it is very artistic, and it does harken back to, in that time period, um, when it had, the art was this art, this art style, that kind of Baroque art style. And so you can see, but it has, like, this one here is a tower, and it has the Eiffel Tower in it. And so it does bring in some very modern kinds of ideas, and even and some of the cards are, are much more. That one is, more kind of, it's one of the this one has less stuff on it than some of the other cards. Like this one, here's the world, and you can see that, it's very busy, and even the backs, are very busy. And so it's definitely, but everything in it had a meaning, and it was very well described, and it was very well, um, it was very well done, and the symbolism and the reasons they used a lot of the reasons that they used a lot of the art that they did is because there was a meaning. There was a meaning to that card, and so that was fun, to read. And there's lots of cards that were just like, just really fun cards. And then there were some that, were very serious, like the tower. It was a very serious card, and um, but it was and it has its own um, way of doing each of the suits. And so the tentacles is the cups. And so it has a lot of, of references to an octopi and a sea creatures. And then the combustion is the wands, and it has lots of fire in it. And then let's see the other two suits, ether. And this was one of my favorite cards here. This is the King of Ether, and Ether is air, the swords. And so the King of Swords is the card that I've always associated with my husband. And this card is the King of Swords, the King of Ether, and it has a magpie for the head. And in Polish, my last name, Soroka, his last name, Soroka, and his family is a Polish name. And the Polish word Soroka means magpie. So I just read that and just laughed out loud. And it was just like, one of those decks. And like, I'm really glad that I did this deck. So that's the three. And I showed you the fungi in the very beginning, and the fungi are mushrooms and the pentacles. So it was very fun. Most of the major have the same title. Like here's the Hierophant. I think there's maybe a couple that are different, but I don't remember very specifically. But this is a fun card. And the Hierophant, the 5 is my birth number. So I always want to look at the Hierophant and see what's on here. And there's a lot of this. There's a lot of cards that have people on them, but there's a lot of cards that have people and they have animal heads, and they talk about, or animal parts, not just heads, but animal parts to them. And so they talk about that, and they talk about why it's done that way. And so you can see here's the page of fungi, or the page of pentacles. And it's very, the person here looks, straight out of art from that time period. But yet all around her, she's holding fungi, and she's got, I think, something in her lap, a little hedgehog in her lap. And so it all means something. And it's just, a fun deck. And some of the cards just were really, really fun. And trying to go through, and I should have pulled these out to show you some of the ones that I really liked, that were really fun. A lot of them have throwbacks to a lot of the Christian art that was done at the time. And then there's one from here. I'm going to see if I can find it. I think it's the Emperor, but it was really, really funny. So I'm going to see if I can find the Emperor really quick. And but like here's the Fool, and it's a woman here in this school, but it has the head of a donkey, and it talks about why, you know, she chose that, and it was just it was really fun to read. And so if you like a deck that has a historical component and is a little bit modern and is a little bit cheeky and has a lot of kind of pop culture references and things like that, then you will definitely enjoy this deck. And I really did enjoy it. And let me see. Oh yes, here's the Emperor. And this one was one that it was really funny to read about. And here's the Emperor, and the Emperor, is in his finest clothes in front of all of his admirers and his his audience, but yet he has the head of an asparagus stalk. And there's a lot of symbolism in it, and she talks about it in the book. And so, and it's well, I'll read this one because I thought it was, very very well done. Even at first when I saw the card, I thought that's just too weird for me, but it was very very interesting. And so here it says the emperor, a powerful father figure, the emperor wields legal and political authority. He's never stopped believing in the divine right of kings. He has simply fallen silent on the issue. And so, he's there just growing his kingdom and growing in the way that he knows how to do it best. So I thought it was just, it's just fun, and it's fun, funny, and but serious at the same time, serious and deep. And I think that I did a lot of the readings that were in the book, and they were really good readings. And I used it for other readings that I did throughout the month. And I'll just pull a couple of cards for us to end up with reading. So here we have the Nine of Combustion and the Four of Pentacles. And that was one of the things that was a little bit hard because pentacles, but tentacles is cups, and fungi are the pentacles. And so that was I needed to get used to that. But once, I kind of realized tentacles, ocean, and it was really easy to make that association. So here, the Nine of Combustion, or the Nine of Wands, is, having and being able just to rest another day, to go and battle again. And the Four of Pentacles, or the Four of Cups, is making sure you're not overlooking something that you need to be looking at. And so here, with going on another day, and knowing that the sun is going to rise again, and knowing that things, even though you feel like things are on fire right now, you can look around and there's things around you that you can use. And so she's got this, and they talk about these the actual plants that are in here. And so she explains what those plants are, and what she's doing and why she's doing it. And so the Four of Tentacles here and the Four of Cups is to look around, because she's got this kind of thing that she's working with, this animal that she's working with, that looks like, it passes prime. It needs to just, be, thanked for its service and moved on. And there's all these, really beautiful things growing in the water, and she's not really looking at those. And so, looking at that, and saying, well, what are things here that I can use? What are things that I'm maybe not paying attention to? And that if I'm not paying attention to them, then how is that going to, how am I going to, what do I need to be able to go on to use these things and face a new day? And when I do feel like that I'm on fire, or something is really happening that I can't control, or I'm just, I just need a break, look around and look at those, at the cups, look at what is there, look at the resources, look at the ways that you can refill your cup so that you can face and have that creative spirit and that spark for the next day. So that's it. I just wanted to give you just a brief video about this deck, and because I did work with it all of September, and it was a really fun deck, and I think I would definitely recommend it. You know, if you like the more busy decks, and it is, the cards are a little bit bigger. They're not huge, but they are a little bit bigger than standard size. So you have to like that too, and you have to like, you know, it's got the gold gilding as well on the sides. But if you do like that and you like this kind of art and you like the more kind of collagey, or you like something that has, is historical but has a modern spin to it, I think this is a great deck for you. So I'll have the places that you can get it down below. I also have a link to the Cauldron where you can go in and get deck review PDFs. I have a short one and I have a long one. And so you can do that if you want to do a deck study on this. Maybe you have, you get this deck and you want to do a deck study on it, then you'll have those. I'll put that link down there as well. And so next in October, now it is October, so during October, I am going to be working with the Hedge Witch Tarot. So I'll have a video on that towards the end of the month. And I will see you again soon. Bye.